Okay, just like to introduce you to Robert and Alan, who work for FCR here in Dublin. They are two of the top sales reps in this company, and they're
Europe, I guess.
In Europe, sorry. The world.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Oh no, it's not very fun.
They've given up time with customers this afternoon to share with you just what makes them so good. So they're getting as modest as they possibly can for the next.
We were only warming up with the last group. You were the real group.
Yes, exactly. So they're going to talk for about 15-20 minutes, and then we'll have a general discussion and Q&A. So
yeah, look,
guys, over to you.
Yeah, I suppose my name is Rob McGrath. This is my colleague Alan. I suppose this session has been built as up close and personal with two of Europe's top sales reps, but they're in traffic, so we're going to hold down the fort till they get here. So again, Alan's been working in FCR for?
Yeah, I've been in FCR, been here for 2 years. Rob's been here for 3. We both started off in telesales department, I suppose where we were unearthed.
Where Barry taught us the ways.
Came and corrupted us. We both now work as outside sales reps.
Again, I suppose the clue is up there in the title. It's just top tips for what we do that we find works very well for ourselves. Again, you might find some of it generic, you might take something from it, but it's what works well for ourselves to date, and hopefully you get something from it. And again, apologies for the cheesy slides. Look, I suppose the first one is how to get a good appointment. Again, good being the key word in this. I think everybody's been guilty from time to time taking appointments just to fill out the day, but ultimately, look, we're in the business of closing sales, so you want to get in front of somebody who actually wants to buy something from you.
Yeah. Straight away from the off, we like to make it that there's something in it for the customer. It has to arouse their interest, and kind of the tagline we go with is we can show you a few ways of increasing the inquiries you're getting. Would be something you might be interested in meeting up with me, having a chat about it.
And look, to be honest with you, if you ask them that question and they say no, they're probably not the right person to be speaking to, and maybe move on. Because if you're telling them, look, I can get your phone ringing from people who actually want your product or service, most people will want to meet you. Again, they're getting calls like this the whole time from people that are just trying to sell them something. They don't even care, like most people don't care what they're selling them. Again, our whole point is getting results for these people and getting them leads. So again, we need to kind of get their interest straight away. Again, I suppose being memorable is part of it as well.
Yeah, I have to remember that we are in the business of selling leads. We sell the opportunity for customers to increase their business.
Research, obviously a key point. The key point is, again, if you're asking enough questions on the initial call, you're going to gauge their interest fairly quickly. Again, if you're just trying to get an appointment and you don't really care what they have to say to you, you might arrive out there and they might have no interest in what you're trying to talk to them about anyway. So again, it does enable you to carry out further research before you go to the meeting. Again, we find competitors.
Yeah, we find competitors is a big interest arouser. Guys like to know what competitors are up to. Obviously, they want to compete with them, they see them as a threat, they want to be better than them, and we also like to find out obviously what advertising they're currently doing.
Again, the Buzzboard tool helps us a lot with this in terms of being able to show competitor analysis, because they might think they're great, whereas Johnny down the road is doing 10 times the amount of him, he might do Google AdWords. His SEO, his website might be better optimised for search engines. Again, just finding out what they're currently doing at the moment. You know, if they're currently kind of doing a couple of things, but you see a gap, there's always going to be something that you can offer them. And again, that's, I suppose, where the preparation comes into it. And again, to go back to Buzzboard, it really is a good. That's over there, Trev. It really is a good tool for showing, I suppose, the current lay of the land and such. And again, if you're asking who the competitors are, that has them thinking more of, as opposed to just saying, well, I'm going to come out and show you something. If they give you a competitor, they probably don't like this guy very much, and they want to kind of take a bit of market share away from him. So it's really is a good way of doing it. Yeah,
and the great thing with Buzzboard, obviously, again, not to go on about too much, is it looks at a website and it sees how the improvements can be made. A lot of guys think, oh, I have a website, that's it, that's all I need. They don't realise the background work that has to go into it to make it actually work for them.
Yeah. Again, this is only really for ourselves because we're outside sales reps, and again, look, our time is precious. But again, at the same time, look, so are theirs. You know, it really depends on the kind of person you're going to meet. If they have a premises and you're going to their office, I wouldn't personally give them an opportunity to get out of the appointment. I would, if you've made the appointment and you've been kind of got their interest kind of aroused enough at the start, just show on up and again go out and have a chat with them.
Slightly different guy. We meet with a lot of tradesmen. We meet with a lot of guys who are working on site or in different venues or different jobs every day of the week. Obviously, the likes of that meeting has to be confirmed to find out where the guy's at. If he's been delayed for a job, you have to meet him somewhere else, obviously. If you don't do that, you can end up being a busy fool.
But it is actually one of the hardest kind of parts of the job. You know what I mean? It leads back to the first point that you need to convince them enough that you're worth meeting. Because most people won't care less about standing you up. If you haven't kind of convinced them that what you're going to come out and show them is going to work for them and generate more leads, why would they want to meet you? And they'd happily just not answer their phone in a lot of situations. Again, I suppose the biggest thing is the needs analysis. Again, a lot of people kind of do gloss over this. We don't go out and just blanket sell. We don't go out and say, look, here's our products, pick and mix, do whatever you want, and we'll add it up for you, and we'll tell you how much it costs at the end. We want to find out what's going to work for them. We want to find out again. Look, obviously, who are the customers that you want? Where are your customers? What type of business? The key ones we always, and which will always lead into the close then as well. We obviously the average value order and the conversion rates. Because if you know that every 10 phone calls that you get, they close 5, and their average sale is £3,000, and then you're pitching them something later on, and you can easily show them that, look, judging by I suppose previous stats and previous customers, this kind of stuff, this won't be a problem for you. And look, it's about return on investment at the end of the day. They don't want to just spend their money and get nothing back.
Very important question we always find at the end of needs analysis. We don't know everything about these guys' industries. They are the experts on what they do. We use the example in the last one, I suppose, of a guy doing windows. You've talked through his products, he's told you all about his double glazed, you've asked him all about his double glazed windows, his triple glazed windows, his sliding sashes, you know all the industry terms. You can come to the end of the pitch where you're after doing 20 minutes of it and says there ain't else. And he mentions the fact that he does conservatories as well. It's a whole revenue stream.
And it can change the dynamic completely. If he says, okay, you do conservatories, who's your conservatories also going to cost you considerably more than getting your front door replaced. So he might say, well, geez, our average customer, the customer we want, not our average customer, who we want for a customer might be someone that's 65 years of age, their kids have left home, our pension is about to mature, this kind of stuff. So we have a bit of money to do up the house. So these are the kind of people we want. So again, it opens up the door to selling, obviously, print then, in terms of the market authority research that's been done to show the relevance of print for certain kind of age demographics.
Needs analysis again is so important in that if a guy you're meeting has spoken to you and he feels you appreciate his needs rather than just being somebody who's trying to push something on him. As I said, we're in the business of selling solutions to guys. They have an advertising problem, not just of selling a product that we want to sell.
And sometimes they don't realise they have the problem until you kind of delve deeper in. They might say, geez, I never even thought of that, and they'll open up an extra kind of revenue stream from oh, good one.
Yeah, when obviously we're demonstrating the suite of products, don't overcomplicate things too much. Some guys maybe aren't au fait with the lingo, they aren't au fait with the workings of Google and everything that goes on behind it.
And you find a lot of times people don't care. They just say, I want my phone to ring, I don't care how you do it, I don't care how much it costs, get my phone to ring, and me and you be best mates. So that's all they care about at the end of the day. Alan had a story there.
I had a customer there 2 years ago, I sold him Google AdWords, and at the time, he just threw his credit card at me and said, there's the number, do it. And I said, right, okay. He didn't even know what it was. I tried to explain it, he goes, I don't care, just do it. And it doesn't work.
I won't do it again.
I won't do it again. So he did it. Now 2 years later, he still doesn't know what it is, but he gets a little phone call now.
So he doesn't care. It could literally be magic for all he knows.
Yeah.
But it's getting them calls, he doesn't care. Again, I suppose another one we said was about keeping it simple and look, I suppose focusing on what we do best. I suppose a caution retailer, a customer of mine, he owns a soup company in Dublin. And he was actually a friend of mine, I went to school. And he set up a company, he said, look, I have the shop, I have the website. What do I do to get people to find this website? So Google AdWords all the way. I explained to him how it worked. I didn't bog him down too much with what it does, but basically gave him the kind of the salient piece of information from it. 3 weeks later, he rings me, Rob, I started doing AdWords on my own. I was like, grand, that's fine, no problem, commission, whatever. But he, anyway, long story short, he spent far too much money because budget control can obviously be an issue with this kind of thing. His fiance went mad, he spent a certain portion of a certain honeymoon run or whatever it was. She wasn't very happy anyway. So I met up with me, we got it back up and running from, again, he was spending an hour a week doing this. He didn't know what he was doing. He spent an hour a week doing this, or an hour a day, sorry, doing this, spending exorbitant amounts of money. We've taken over, his cost per click has come down by half from what he's doing. He's an hour free a day now to run a shop and look after 2 kids and everything else that kind of goes along with it. So look, you don't want to bog these people down too much with it. They want the phone ring. That's what most people, 99% of people will tell you. I want the phone to ring, I'll do the rest.
And the simple it is for a guy like that, and he's dealing with us to make a change, is one email to the legs we're off, or to the guy he's dealing with inside, and it's done. You don't have to log in, start doing it, mess around, possibly mess it up, and then again cost themselves €1,500 a week.
Yeah, I don't want to say what it costs now. Look, and again, I suppose, look, the clothes, you'll all know this guy. Again, first prize?
Cadillac.
Second prize?
Set of steak guns.
Third prize? Fire. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I fight for. But again, look, there's no point being.
There's no steak.
Oh, where is the beer? Sorry. Yeah, that's a lie.
Use your basket, we're looking for.
And the Volkswagen, oh sorry, and the Cadillac Junior. Look, again, people are in sales. Look, you can't be afraid to ask for the business. You've invested so much work in this in terms of the initial call, the preparation that it took, driving out to the guy, meeting, going through a whole thing. You might have spent 4 hours in total to get down to this one point, looking him in the eye. And if you're not going to ask for the business, you're wasting your time. You know what I mean? If you've done enough all the way down the sales funnel, come to that. If you come down the sales funnel, you know what I mean? It should be a no-brainer for them. Look, I'm a big fan of the assumptive close because I'm so confident that I've done enough that I say, look, we'll just get this going now, we'll book this in now. And if they say no, you haven't done your job. You haven't explained something to him somewhere along the line that he's hesitant about it. So again, I know Alan has different techniques. Violence, I think, probably
helps with that.
Key for Alan.
We found like in our smaller value sales that guys that don't sign on the day generally don't tend to sign at all.
So Irish people have an inherent problem of not being able to say no. So they'd rather hide from you for weeks and they might answer your call by mistake, pretend that they're somewhere else or whatever. But anyway, you just don't like saying no. So look, while you're in there, look, some ones are different. If it's going to be a bigger sale, there's other people involved in the decision-making process. It will be a longer, drawn-out thing. But I mean, while you're in there and you have them on the hook, you might as well swing for the fence while you're in there because a lot of guys are just looking for you to get out of there. But if you're showing them enough, it shouldn't be a no-brainer for them.
CRM, obviously, we look at it as CRM becomes another opportunity to sell. It's a great place to ask for referrals. When you have a job done well, you have a guy who's performing, who's getting business from what you've sold him, why not ask him again? Does he know anybody else? Has he any mates in different businesses? Any guys down the road, obviously not competitors, who might be of interest to us, who might be interested in getting a bit more business for themselves?
Well, that's it. And again, look, you have to make sure he's happy ultimately because come year 2, he's not going to do it. And ultimately, like it's hardest to get the initial sale. It's easier to keep him happy going forward as opposed to going out and get a new sale. I don't know what the figures are for. You probably guys have a better idea how much it costs times to get a new person in as opposed to keep one.
7 times.
7 times. There you go. So I mean, you might as well keep him happy at the start as opposed to trying to go out and get new guys every single year. You know, like you be doing it obviously, but you want to keep the guys you have in. So obviously that's why CRM obviously will be very important.
In fact, I'd probably say probably more than that in these days because a new sale tends to be of a much lower value.
Well, that's it as well, and the time that's invested in it, the 4 or 5 hours of the prep, the meeting, everything that goes with it.
Again, if you can't handle rejection, this probably isn't the job for you. There are loads of companies out there that don't have any online presence that are opportunities for us to sell, and obviously just have to keep prospecting.
But 40% of Irish businesses don't have a website. So I mean, 40% of everybody business are in Ireland, but there's enough out there for everybody. And look, there's enough work for the customer as well. There's holes in every market for them to fill. Obviously Dublin being the most competitive, but I mean, there's so many guys that aren't doing anything. And again, I was using this earlier on, the Einstein quote of the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. You need to try something new. If you've been relying on leaflets or word of mouth and now you suddenly have no inquiries coming in, you're going to need to try something different, So if we're showing you that it's worked for people in the past, there's no reason why it won't work for you. But again, if they're giving you the no or rejecting the calls, look, we've enough people to see during the working day, the working week, that look, not to take it personally and get on with things, and get somebody who does want to sign.
Exactly. That's it, ladies and gents.
Do you have questions for Michael Jordan and LeBron James here?
Yeah. How much time do you put into needs analysis?
it's, to be honest with you, it makes up the majority of our call when we're with them. You were saying earlier on that the funnel, we're really stealing from your funnel here. You're not going to have to get up now. To be honest with you, it makes up the majority of our calls. Look, obviously there's the kind of the pleasantries at the start and having the chat, but I mean, the more you know about them, the more you're going to be able to extract from them in terms of obviously what's going to work best for them. But the more that's going to work for them, the more revenue is in it for us as well, ultimately. So, you know, I mean, if you're leaving money on the table, as we were saying, if you found out there's an area of this business that would work for a different age demographic, you're missing out on that. So you need to ask as much as you possibly can.
What is that, an hour per
no, I think that would be excessive. Look, it really depends. It depends how well you get on with the person as well. Like, some people are trying to rush you along the whole time. They don't want to, they're kind of saying, look, tell me what it is, how much does this cost? And ultimately, if they're not going to listen to you, they're shooting themselves in the foot. You're there as in a consultative role to help them. If they're not going to listen, you know what I mean, you might be wasting your time, but as soon as they kind of understand that you're there to show them ways of getting, they will listen and they will give up more information, because let's be honest, most people like talking about their own business because they're proud of what they do. So they will go on and they will let out more information than they probably thought they would. So the more ammo you have come to close, you can link it all back. And again, the needs analysis along with Buzzboard, you have so much ammunition come close that they can't really say no to you.
Yeah, but
they do. Well, I mean, they shouldn't.
But as we said earlier on, we're in a business obviously of selling solutions. You can identify their problems at the end of it, and you can show them how you can cure them. You have solutions to them. It literally becomes a yes/no answer at the end.
I'll share the fun one analogy with you.
You don't feel like the rules are
I do think, I talked this morning about the cultural change that has gone on in the, certainly the observation I've seen is that there's been a cultural shift in the mind of the salesperson over the last 10 years. From selling, as I said, a high-value product-led sale to one that is now much more customer-orientated and customer-focused. And if you go back to the old world, if you think of the sales process as simply a funnel, in the old days we used just to hone in on a kind of one or two customer needs. You know, we get in there, and if you gave us a good need within the first 5 or 10 minutes, great, we'll start closing. You know, we'll go heavily into a product sale and explain to them about the book and how many people use it and all that kind of stuff. And then we spend half an hour trying to close the deal. But if you move forward to today, it's, in terms of rather than amount of time, but proportion of time in the sale, I would say at least half your time is just sat there asking questions with your ears open, listening to what he's telling you. Because the best salespeople today, like these guys, they just listen to what their customers tell them about, what their market is, who their competitors are, what their landscape is, what their typical perfect customer looks like. And then they know what the solution is going to be. You don't have to spend, chapter and verse or an hour explaining a bit of, this is how Facebook works, this is how social media works, this is how Google works. The customer isn't interested. As he says, he's got a customer for the last 2 years. There's been advertising on Google, but doesn't even know what the hell it is. Yeah, and that makes the assumptive close at the end very, very easy. And that, I think, is one of the key cultural shifts. Over the last, certainly the last 5 or 6 years. It's all about the customers. In the old days, you spend 2/3 of the time with the call talking. These days, you spend 2/3, or if not 3/4, listening.
That's why Alan Deere is so big.
Other questions?
Yeah. How long does it take to get to the top?
I wouldn't know, to be honest. It is the frank answer. Those guys should be here shortly, as you said.
I can see it from here.
I think it's a great insight. It was the very first thing they said. Both these guys, their background is in telesales. And if there's another general observation I would have of all the places I've worked and the companies I work, if you look at the very best salespeople, most of them tend to have a background in telesales. And that is because, if you think about it, in this day and age, you have to convey so much information. And to get customers' attention, particularly on the telephone. If you haven't got his attention in the first couple of minutes, you've lost him. So these guys, with a telesales background, I think are able to compartmentalise and crystallise the sale into the really key points and ask the right questions to keep the customer. And I would say it doesn't matter where you look in the world, a lot of the very best people in the digital age selling in this industry have predominantly a telesales background.
Talk a little bit about expectations. What expectations do you try to set for the customer? Because you want to keep them happy.
Well, look, it's always a case of under promise, over deliver. What way are you going to have angry people onto you? But again, look, as I said, I mean, past performance is no indication of future performance. So, look, you try and kind of keep their expectations low enough. But again, if you're going through the needs analysis enough in terms of, their average value and the conversion rates and stuff, they're kind of almost selling it themselves. They're kind of going, well, yeah, my average sale is £2,000. And I was out with a Windows company this morning, and I said, look, what would your conversion rate be? It would be 2 out of 10 trying to lowball them, so they'd go, no, it's much higher. I said, yeah, it would be 7 or 8. And I got their average value order, and their average profit is €1,500 out of the job, whatever. So I said, if you got 10 phone calls in a year, say you got 10 phone calls, you would close, what, 8 of them by £1,500 quid. So you're talking €12,000, and this is costing X. You know what I mean? You're kind of going, oh yeah, that's a bit, yeah.
But again,
So,
again, people differ. There's other people who would be very, very happy to get a €1,500 order a week, and then there's other guys who would expect 4 a day.
yeah. But that's down to their psychosis. So I wouldn't worry too much about them. But look, as I said, you mean over or under promise, over deliver. You can't go too far wrong, really.
Any other questions? We've got about 5 minutes.
I do lead generation.
From anything really, anything you see, you should become a magpie for like leaflets and local newspapers. You're just grabbing everything you see all the time. It can be as simple as, if you're trying to pitch somebody Google AdWords, doing a search for something, making a note that everyone that's on page 1 and start from page 10 and work back. You know what I mean? Find a guy who's on page 8, hey, I did a search for PVC Windows Dublin, you're on page 8. Did you know that? No, I didn't. Do you ever go past page 1 for searching for something? No, just I don't. Right, we better meet. You know what I mean? So it could be from anywhere. But again, there's no hard and fast rule about where you get them. You mean you find them on Dundee or one of the local, another directory site, you know. But yeah, any card you find, as I said, you become a magpie for these things. And again, vans driving, like we bought dictaphones. So if a van drives down the road, you don't have a pen and paper to write down, plus that would be obviously legal to do.
Funny story with that, Robert pulled up the side of the road and they was taking a picture of a van, and they were sitting in it eating a roll.
And I took a picture of him.
And he accosted Rob, wondering why he was taking a picture of him. Rob told him he was from the Golden Pages and ended up getting a sale for £2,500 out of him. So,
yeah. Stalker.
Yeah, and I look back at the picture and he's looking at me in the picture. Like, so.
There was another question here at the front.
Yeah, so how many of those in-person conversations can you have a day, typically?
It really depends. We try and have, look, at the end of the day, I'd rather have 4 good meetings in a day than 6 bad ones. You know what I mean? Or people that are likely to stand you up, and that's why the first couple of points are so.
We're going to, it's totally negative, but we aim kind of 4 to 5 really, really good meetings. Make sure they're properly qualified and make sure they actually want to meet you.
And as well, there's a clever journey plan as well, that you're not going to run my first meeting's here and then my next meeting's 200 miles away and then my next meeting's back here. So there's obviously a bit of forward planning in that regard. But I mean, a lot of it's common sense, and it kind of comes with experience as well, planning out your day, keeping your diary kind of in check as well. But I mean, you might do one meeting in the day and it could be a massive sale, you know what I mean? And the rest of the guys stood you up. Is it a good day? Of course it is. You know what I mean? You can go to 10 meetings and get nothing. That's a worse day, you know. So it's quality over quantity a lot of the times as well.
So what experiences did you guys have prior to coming to this job?
I was in sales, obviously. I worked selling windows and doors. That's why I go after window and door companies, because I know everything about them.
Okay.
Alan was in slates.
That's the construction industry, yeah.
Okay.
I worked in sales for that for 11 years.
So sales in the construction industry?
Yeah. External sales in the construction industry, yeah.
Yeah, no, I've done a bit of everything really.
Yeah, same as.
Insurance, working in a gym, that kind of stuff. So just everything really, whatever I get my hands on.
So you had a demonstrated track record of success in
absolutely.
different sales.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
broke up a bit of time in jail.
I like the haircut, so I kept it.
Any other questions?
Do you believe that the closest person could generate your hot leads by prospecting some list of contacts and then providing your hot leads?
Absolutely. Yeah, we do have a system in place with that, and we would basically, say for example, these have a really good lead, we would buddy the sales, we would literally split the revenue in half with them, whatever, because obviously it's a lot easier to close a sale face to face than it is over the phone, especially the higher the value of the sale. So if they think they have somebody on the hook, and they say, well, I might get €1,000 over the phone, or if some of the guys out might get 5,000, they will give us all the information. Right. We will obviously run through a few more things, and then just treat it as a normal sale. go out and run through the needs analysis again, no matter if they say, oh, I've been through this on the phone, you might pick up on something that was missed. And again, it's going back up covered every, so there's no money left in the
And
paper.
again, then there's a dedicated department in Golden Pages for call appointing, where they actually set up meetings from open market in our system, customers that are on file, they're not currently dealing with us, and they go through that. And obviously it's doled out then to maybe the rep in the area, sometimes there's incentives there.
Or feed the producer.
Feed the producer, guys that are selling well, they get,
Yeah, that's not always the case.
no, sorry.
Any other questions?
Perfect time.
Yeah, great.
So,
I think these guys are coming for a Guinness with us tonight, so if you have any more questions, you can always, I don't know what their answers are going to be like though after.
It was all lies. I didn't even order it.
if you want the question answered,
Give these guys a hand.